I made $761 last week from my bed, yet somehow still managed to spend $419 living in LA as a 24-year-old entrepreneur. Let's talk about it. For groceries, I spent $112.68, and honestly, this really isn't that big of a deal. Everybody has to eat, unfortunately. The only real drawback I have here is I shopped when I was hungry, so I did buy some items that weren't a necessity to me. But honestly, the best piece of advice I have here for when I grocery shop is I try to have at least 3 meals in mind that I know I want to make, but that just didn't happen this week. So for restaurants, we didn't do too bad this week. We spent $60.15. Chipotle was $11.47. And on Saturday night, I went out and had a good time. And at Tom Bergen's bar, I spent $30. And then at Andy's, I spent $16.68. And honestly, for here, I really didn't do too bad in terms of eating out. The only thing that really got me here was drinks when you go out. So just be mindful of when you're out having a good time, not to spend too much money in drinks, because I paid $16 for a single high noon. Are you kidding me? That's insane. All right, so this next category is Amazon plus merch. Now for 4 Amazon orders total, I spent $75.58. At Chance Vintage, I spent $7.36 for 2 pairs of shorts. At the Council Shop, I spent $11.04. And then Vela Labs, I spent $5. When you're working from home, you have got to be so careful about what you're spending because it's so easy just to click buy now, buy now, buy now over the course of 7 days, 10 days, whatever. This is just unacceptable. I'm gonna implement a new rule where I'm gonna leave the item in my cart for at least 48 hours. And if I still want the item and still need the item after 48 hours, then I will go ahead and continue to buy. So for business expenses this past week, we have $73.61. We had 2 Printify orders totaling $56.61. Our Midjourney subscription, which is exactly $30. And then lastly, our Netflix subscription, which renewed this month at $19.77. And then I played volleyball twice and filmed some content out there. So that was $14 each time, totaling $28 in parking. Insane. The lesson here is that yes, starting an online business seems cheap at first, but once you start adding on all the admin and all the other subscriptions, it does add up, and you just need to be mindful of how much you're spending in subscriptions because you never want what you're spending to be outweighing what your profit is. And then lastly, for travel, we have an Uber at $12.98 because like I said, I did go out Saturday and have a good time and I do not regret it. The only thing I regret is that $16 high noon. So in total this week, we spent $419.17. So what I want you to take from this video is that yes, your income can be very inconsistent when you're self-employed, but what can be consistent is your money habits and your spending habits. So if you're anything like me and you're trying to better your money habits, you're trying to better your spending habits, follow along because we're going to be in this journey together.